Let's talk about money. How much do PhD students actually make? Is it enough to live? And can you save anything? I'm a PhD student at the University of Cambridge with one of the most prestigious scholarships in the world, and this video is about how much I make. My scholarship is the Gates Cambridge Scholarship. I made a video about how to apply for it, and all the information that I'm going to share here is publicly available on the website that I will link below. The scholarship obviously covers the university fees, so that is something um, that I don't see anything. Basically, they just pay directly to the university, and what I earn is completely outside of that. Because we are in the UK, this is a stipend, so it's not technically a salary. We don't pay any taxes on this, so the amount that I will share now is completely given to me as my take-home salary. And then the other caveat is that these numbers are for the 2023 to 2024 academic year, just because it's the full year that it's on, and the year for me it's slightly more complicated with rent costs and things like that. So I'm just going to refer to last year, but in the years before, so that was my third year of my PhD. I'm now in my fourth year. In the first and second year, it was a similar cost and similar cost of living and similar salary, of course adjusted for inflation. In this academic year, so for 12 months, I got paid exactly 20,000 Great British pounds, which is this in euros and this in dollars. Now I get paid those 20,000 pounds four times per year, so that's 5,000 pounds every 3 months. At the start of every um, trimester, I get paid those 5,000 pounds, which is nice to have the money up front. And that means that it's about, it's 1,666.666666 ad infinitum pounds per month. Cambridge is one of the most expensive cities in the UK. It's not as expensive as in London. London is by far the most expensive city in the UK, and the PhD stipends for students in London universities are much more, or like substantially more than this, to adjust for the higher cost of living there. But Cambridge and Oxford roughly have the same um, cost of living, and the stipends are a bit lower, but perhaps higher than what they are in other universities in the UK. And to obviously, I've had my own cost of living, but this varies a lot by people. But I'm cross referencing them with this website that's cost of living, and they have the cost of living for all over the world. So it's a very helpful tool that I will recommend. According to this cost of living calculator, the monthly costs for one single person in Cambridge in 2024 was £1,970. Yeah. So I only get paid 1,666 pounds per month. So that adds that up. So let's break it down based on what the cost of living calculator says. It says that for one single person, rent and utilities combined should be 1,286 pounds. So I definitely paid less than that, and this is because I was living in college accommodation. I had an ensuite room for myself, but I shared the kitchen. It was a big kitchen with about like 9 or 10 other students. I was paying 842.5 pounds per month for that room, and that is including utilities, so electricity, water, and questionable Wi-Fi. So that is substantially less than what you would pay if you just wanted a flat for yourself in Cambridge to rent that. And I was in a reasonably good location in central Cambridge, not in super in the city center, but I was close to what I wanted to be, which was the maths department, and reasonably close to the main college side as well, which then gets you into central Cambridge. So for me, that was a pretty good deal. Obviously, it's still a lot of money, and as I said, that was one of the most expensive bands of rooms that they were offering, so they would definitely be cheaper ones. Now the difference with the cost of living calculator is that they said that um, the average cost would be £478 for food per month, and that's definitely way more than what I was spending. I basically like don't eat out basically at all, like I don't know, maybe once a week. I would estimate that I was spending about half as much for food, so £240 per month for food, and that's including occasionally eating out and very rarely eating in like college cafeteria, which for kids it wasn't great food, but that's really a different topic. Um, so that also helps reduce the cost of living. And then the other substantial cost that comes here in the cost of living is transport. So they say almost £70 monthly for transport costs. I think that's too much for Cambridge, at least for me. I was just cycling basically everywhere. Occasionally, I had to take some Ubers if I had bike problems or one of these electric scooters. But basically, the main cost was just paying upfront for the bike and maintenance. However, I'm gonna leave this amount in the calculation because it probably accounts for transport costs outside of Cambridge if you take, say, maybe once a month a weekend trip to maybe London by train, or I don't know, maybe once every 2 months, some very cheap flights around Europe that you can get from Stansted Airport that has a lot of Ryanair flights. So I definitely make a lot of use of that. So adjusting for the lower cost of rent and the reduced spends in food, my actual cost of living would be almost £1,300 per month, which now makes more sense given that that is a bit less than what I was earning per month. So now moving to the next final part of the video is how much did I save and is it worth doing a PhD for this? So with the amount that I was earning per month and this estimated cost of living, which obviously would vary between months, but would mean that I was saving almost £400 per month, which honestly is not too much, but it is something. And it adds up to a bit more than £4,500 per year in savings. Now, in reality, I did save a bit more than that by doing some supervision work and basically teaching on the side and doing some tutoring as well to high school students through the college system. But that was really like one of occasions, and I would just I mostly did them in my first and second year just because, as I said before, I wanted to get the experience for that. But I didn't feel that it was something that was well paid. Like it made some money, but you ended up spending a lot of time, which is taken away from your PhD time. And I felt that I didn't need the money for that, but it meant that I saved a bit more in the early years because of doing this extra work. Also, every time I've gone home for Christmas or summer holidays and things like that, then my parents have covered the cost of food. So although that is not a lot, individually it adds up across the year or the years that I've been there. So altogether, I'd say that I've saved. I haven't looked at the exact numbers, but I think I've saved about £6,000 per year. I would do it again, even though you're not saving very much. You're still living like a student, and you could be earning much more having a more lucrative job. But for me, it's been so much fun. And again, I'm very lucky that I was in this situation where I didn't need to be earning a lot of money. I was able to save more money than most PhD students, and I was earning more money than most PhD students.